If she does this, she's already yours. 8 signs she secretly loves you. Modern Stoic. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting 2 bodies. Aristotle. Have you ever had that nagging feeling that she's into you, but she never actually says it? And worse, have you realized too late that you missed your shot simply because you didn't recognize the signs she was leaving behind? Here's the hard truth. When a woman truly falls in love, she almost never spells it out. She's not going to send you a text that says, "Warning, feelings loading." Instead, she drops breadcrumbs, small gestures, subtle hints that most men are blind to. Miss them, and you might lose her to someone who's paying closer attention. But today, that ends. You're about to learn 8 silent signals that only appear when she sees you as more than a casual fling. Signs that she already holds a deeper place for you in her heart. And the most powerful one, it's the signal that she's quietly picturing you in her future. Very few men ever notice it, but once you do, you'll never again question whether she's falling for you. So stay with me until the very end. Because once you understand these signs, you'll interpret her glances, her messages, and even her silences in a completely new way. And if you've ever lost a chance at love because you didn't see the signs before, share your story below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you experience love. First sign, she lets you see her vulnerability. If you're paying attention, that's your cue to step up as a modern Stoic, not a fixer, not a showman, just a steady, decent man who can hold space without turning the moment into a project. She stops performing the glossy highlight reel and shows you the behind the scenes. The tear that comes a second too late, the laugh that cracks when she mentions her dad, the story she's told no one because it always gets used against her. And that is the point most men miss. She isn't being dramatic, she's being brave, and she's studying your response like a hawk because this is not a cute confession. It's a boundary test. Don't interrupt, don't pivot to your own war stories, don't crack a joke to dodge the weight, and don't try to solve an unfixable past. Be the modern Stoic who knows the blessing of Stoicism is presence over performance, calm over control, and respect over reactions. When she sets down a painful memory between you like a fragile glass, you must treat it like it belongs to both of you for the next 5 minutes. Phone down, eyes up, voice low, ask soft questions. Mirror her words so she hears herself with less fear. And let silence do some of the heavy lifting. That is how trust grows in adults who have been disappointed enough times to spot counterfeit empathy. If she admits an insecurity about her body, her family, her age, her career, watch the microsecond after she says it. The scan for mockery, the wince waiting for judgment. The breath caught at the top of her chest. Release that breath for her with simple, honest language. Thank you for telling me. I'm not going anywhere. You're safe with me. You must resist the urge to jump into coaching mode. Because turning her heart into a spreadsheet is how good men become cold men. And an old Stoic knows that not every fire needs water. Some just need witness. Don't weaponize what she shares later in a fight. Don't bring it up to score points with friends. And don't put it on trial. Be discreet. Be kind. Be consistent. Because consistency is courtship for grown-ups. Notice the little tells she texts you when the day goes sideways instead of when it's already curated. She lets you see her in sweats, hair undone, sentences messier than usual. She asks what you think before she has decided, and which is trust dressed as curiosity. She laughs at a story she once cried through. Because pain said aloud in a safe room starts to evaporate. That is the blessing of Stoicism again. Your grounded presence turns heavy memories into lighter ones without a single speech. Don't mistake vulnerability for weakness. It's courage rented by the minute, and your character is the deposit. You must protect the moment from impatience, sarcasm, or indifference, because those three kill intimacy faster than infidelity. Be the calm porch light that never burns out. The modern Stoic who knows control is an inside job, and the old Stoic who remembers that power without gentleness is just noise. When she takes off her armor, understand this is not carelessness. It is conscious surrender. If you rush to fix, you imply she is broken. If you judge, you teach her to hide. If you minimize, you teach her to doubt herself. But if you listen, you teach her to trust you. That is the trade, her truth for your steadiness. And steadiness is romance for women who have walked through storms. Be specific in your kindness. I hear that you felt alone at 16. It makes sense you double-check exits. You're strong, and you don't have to be today. Short, sharp sentences that carry weight. You must also hold your own frame. Don't become her therapist. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't let fear of saying the wrong thing make you say nothing. Set a clean boundary with warmth if the topic goes beyond your depth. I'm here with you. And I also think a pro could help. That is still the blessing of Stoicism, a refusal to posture coupled with a commitment to care. Understand the upside. Once she sees you can carry her softer side without dropping it. You get promoted from date to harbor. Intimacy deepens in quiet increments. Inside jokes that weren't possible before. Comfortable silence that feels like music. The kind of hug that lands like home. The body may say yes in a weekend, but the soul says yes only to the man who keeps showing up. Don't rush the timeline. Don't audit the ledger. Don't demand a label tonight. Be patient, be observant, be grateful. And here's a subtle clue most miss: after safety comes synergy. She starts echoing your phrases, borrowing your cadence, aligning her plans around your rhythms without announcing it. She picks up your coffee order, steals your favorite line, tilts her head the way you do when you're thinking. That is not coincidence, it's convergence. An old Stoic smiles at the pattern, a modern Stoic honors it. And the blessing of Stoicism is seeing it without boasting about it. She's already yours in the way that matters. Quietly, inwardly, unmistakably. And if you've kept your heart strong and your hands gentle, you'll notice the next sign without chasing it. She mirrors your gestures when she thinks you're not looking. And that, my friend, is love doing its best work off camera. Second sign, she admires you silently. Have you noticed it yet? She repeats your phrases. She borrows your expressions. Maybe she even picks up your quirks. The way you stir your coffee, the way you tilt your head when you're making a point. That's not coincidence. That's not laziness. That's one of the clearest signals you've walked straight into her heart. When a woman falls in love, she begins to absorb parts of you as if they were her own. The remarkable part, she doesn't even realize it. That's not strategy, it's instinct. Admiration often speaks louder than any 3 little words she could ever say. Pay attention to the details. The way she leans in when you talk, even when the subject is something she couldn't care less about. The subtle smile that appears when you tell a story she's already heard twice. The way she defends your opinions when someone else tries to challenge them. That is not performance. That is silent loyalty. That is the blessing of Stoicism at work, because admiration, like Stoic lessons, is revealed in action, not noise. She is not competing with you. She is not trying to outshine you. She is reflecting you. And reflection is the highest compliment a human being can give another. Here's the crucial difference most men miss. A compliment can be rehearsed. A smile can be staged. Words are easy, but imitation that is unconscious. It's involuntary. She's not planning it. She's not saying to herself, "Today I will mimic him." No. Her admiration slips into her behavior like water seeping through cracks. That's when you know you've become a reference point in her life. A man she doesn't need to question because she already trusts him completely. Don't underestimate that. Very few men ever reach this level. Most remain outsiders, appreciated but not absorbed. If she's mirroring you, you're already on the inside. But here's where modern Stoicism sharpens its edge: admiration. Like respect, is fragile. It can appear naturally, but it can also vanish just as easily. If one day you notice she no longer echoes your words, no longer leans in when you speak, no longer lights up when you walk into the room, don't ignore it. That's not small. That's a red flag. Because just as admiration grows quietly, it also fades quietly. And by the time you notice, it may already be too late. Don't be the man who shrugs it off. Be alert, be present. Respect is the soil where love grows, and once it erodes, the roots dry up. That is one of the timeless Stoic lessons you must never forget. If she still admires you silently, consider yourself blessed. Not every man is given that. But if the signs begin to dim, you'll need to look to the next signal, the third sign, to understand whether there is hope or whether she's already drifting away from you without a sound. Because what comes next is not about the present, it's about the future. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and share this with someone who could benefit. Also, subscribe for more insightful wisdom on modern relationships. Comment to remember I am the reflection of respect and admiration. Third sign, she includes you in her future. When a woman begins weaving you into the tapestry of her tomorrows, it's no accident, no casual phrase, no throwaway line. It's her declaration in code. We could. Next year we might. Can you see yourself living somewhere new? These are not questions. They are invitations, subtle tests, silent bridges she is building toward you. This is the point of no return, because once a woman starts reshaping her vision to include you, she has already made a choice in her heart. And Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And when her thoughts are dyed with the color of you, every plan she makes is infused with your presence. That is power. That is commitment. But here lies the danger. Most men miss it. They nod, they brush it off, they joke it away, and without knowing, they chip away at her hope until silence replaces her questions. And silence, gentlemen, is not neutral. Silence is the sound of a door closing, and you must not let it get to that point. You must train yourself like a Stoic to notice the smallest details, to hear not only what is said but what is meant. A Stoic life demands vigilance, clarity, awareness. When she changes her career path, when she considers a new city, when she makes sacrifices not for herself but for the we she imagines, that is love in its purest, most practical form. Seneca reminded us, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. This is your opportunity. Don't be unprepared. Don't dismiss it as coincidence. Don't sabotage your future by ignoring the signs that are right in front of you. When she starts shifting her tomorrow to align with yours, she's telling you she already sees you as part of her destiny. That is not to be taken lightly. That is not to be overlooked. You must act. You must respond in kind. The Stoic principles teach us to focus only on what we can control. And what you can control here is your awareness, your response, your ability to show her she's not sacrificing alone. Recognize this sign early, and you enter the select circle of men who truly understand women. Men who see beyond words and step into action. fail to recognize it, and you'll find that when she stops asking, she's already gone. Not with fireworks, not with drama, but with the quiet, devastating finality of a woman who has erased you from her future. That is why this sign is decisive. That is why this sign separates those who win from those who lose. Remember, life is not about endless guessing games, it's about mastery. Master yourself. Master your awareness. Master the art of listening to what is unspoken. Because in modern life, where distractions steal men's focus and superficial pleasures dilute their strength, the one who can live by Stoic principles, who can see the truth beneath casual words, is the one who secures not just love but respect, devotion, and victory. So pay attention, sharpen your senses, embrace the Stoic life, and don't ever let the future she offers slip through your fingers. Recognize it, claim it, master it. And when you do, you won't just have a woman who loves you, you'll have a partner who has already chosen to walk beside you through every tomorrow. That is the victory. That is the game mastered. That is the life of a modern Stoic. Fourth sign, she prioritizes spending time with you. Don't underestimate this one. Don't brush it off as just another coffee, another quick visit, or another casual dinner. Time is her currency. It's her gold. It's the one thing she can't get back once it's spent. And if she chooses to spend that treasure on you, out of all the other people, places, and obligations pulling at her, then wake up, my friend. That is not coincidence. That is intent. Women have endless reasons to stay busy. Work can drain them. Family can demand them. Friends can entertain them. And solitude? Oh, that's a luxury many women crave just to recharge. But if she consistently sets all of that aside to carve out a moment with you, you must see the weight of what she's silently saying. You've become her priority. That is the quiet devotion of someone whose heart is leaning toward yours. Picture this, she's laughing with her friends, but she slips away early just to swing by your place. Not because she has to, but because she wants to. Or after a brutal day at work, when her body screams for rest and her mind begs for silence, she still texts you dinner. That's sacrifice in its sweetest disguise. That's her saying, I'm tired, but your presence matters more than my bed right now. You must not ignore it. The old Stoic would remind you a person's choices reveal their true values. Words can lie, but time never does. If she cuts time out of her life and hands it to you, that's no small gesture. It's proof that you've become essential. Don't miss the subtlety here. She won't announce it with trumpets. She won't give you a certificate of priority, she'll do it quietly, like slipping a note under your door, or like that small text that reads, I'm swamped, but I'll stop by your office after work. It seems small, but in the language of love, that's thunder. Don't you dare overlook it. Don't dismiss it as routine. That is her silent confession, louder than any words she might ever dare to say. Be aware, be sharp. A woman who chooses you over her own rest, over her friends, over her free time, is showing you that you're not just another guy in her week. You're the guy. And here's where the blessing of Stoicism comes in. You must not cling. You must not demand. You must not suffocate her gift. The modern Stoic knows how to see her presence as grace, not entitlement. Don't treat it like it's owed to you. Treat it like it's sacred. That is what will keep her coming back. That is what will make her choice to prioritize you feel justified. So remember this when she consistently rearranges her world to step into yours. You've already crossed into a deeper territory. That's not friendship. That's not politeness. That's love on tiptoe, sneaking in before you realize it. And if you're wise, If you're grounded like the old Stoic who takes nothing for granted, you'll see that sign for what it truly is. The quiet victory that she's already yours. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Fifth sign, she remembers the little details about you. Don't underestimate this one. Most people listen with half an ear and forget by lunchtime. But a woman who loves you, she becomes an archivist of your life. She doesn't just hear you, she stores you. You might casually mention on a rainy Tuesday that spicy noodles hit the spot, or that you can't stand gloomy weather, or that you read yourself to sleep every night. Weeks later, when you least expect it, she'll surprise you with those exact details. That isn't memory. That's affection dressed as memory. A woman in love naturally builds her world around your words. She connects dots you didn't even know you left behind. To her, those fragments are treasures. Small pieces of you she can hold on to. And here's the truth, you don't forget the things that don't matter. If she remembers, it's because you matter. Picture this. You walk into her kitchen still half dazed from work, and she hands you a black coffee. No sugar, no hesitation. She grins. "I know you don't like it sweet." Suddenly you realize it isn't about coffee. It's about the fact that you're always running through her mind. The deeper lesson, don't think it's trivial. This sign is powerful because it reveals investment. A woman remembering the little things is like a craftsman polishing gold. Patient, intentional, precise. It shows she's already shaping space for you in her heart. Be smart enough to notice it. Many men ignore this, chasing fireworks instead of warmth. But fire burns out. What lasts is the quiet discipline of someone who notices your smallest needs and acts on them. That is love in its most subtle, stoic form. Yes, stoicism, not the cold, emotionless caricature, but the real blessing of stoicism, attention to what matters, detachment from noise, and loyalty to simple truths. When she remembers your quirks, she's practicing the same discipline. Her affection is measured not in grand declarations, but in tiny acts of care. Don't be fooled by the modern noise, the endless texts, the flashy gifts, the shallow declarations. Anyone can buy you sneakers. Few will remember you hate the rain. The Stoic lessons remind us what is small is not small. It's essential. A woman's love reveals itself not in what she says once, but in what she proves daily. She proves it by holding on to your details, by choosing to carry your preferences like her own. Be wise enough to see the contrast. A crowd listens to respond, a lover listens to remember, and the right woman, she listens to honor. What this means for you, don't let your ego blind you. If she remembers your world, she's inviting you into hers. That is not coincidence. That is devotion. You must respect it, acknowledge it, meet it with the same presence. Don't dismiss her thoughtfulness as cute. Recognize it as proof of love. That is how you deepen the bond, by valuing her effort. Remember, in a Stoic sense, the small is sacred, the quiet is powerful. And when she remembers your little details, you don't have to wonder if she cares. She already answered you, without words. Sixth sign, she gets jealous in subtle ways. Don't ignore it. Don't brush it off. Jealousy, when quiet, when hidden behind a smile, is one of the strongest signals that she secretly values you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Apply this Stoic wisdom to love her. Subtle jealousy is not chaos, it is not weakness, it is proof of care. A woman who sees you talking comfortably with another woman may not explode in anger, but watch closely the dimmed eyes, the forced smile, the casual question, is she close to you? That is not distrust. That is concern. That is her soul whispering, you matter to me, and you must understand this truth. Women only get jealous over men they see as valuable. Indifference is the real enemy. When she doesn't care where you go, who you're with, or how you spend your time, that's when you should worry. Because that silence means you no longer hold weight in her heart. Modern life is noisy, full of distractions, full of shallow connections, and men who fail to recognize this sign often lose what they never knew they had. Let's be clear, jealousy in subtle form is a victory flag. It means you've entered her mind, her emotions, her hidden thoughts. She thinks of you even when you're not there. She checks her phone more often. She sends you extra texts. She finds reasons to see you because she doesn't want to risk losing you. That is not control. That is care. That is love in disguise. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Her worry is her imagination running wild, picturing you giving attention elsewhere. If she didn't love you, she wouldn't bother. Example, you casually mention a female coworker invited you to lunch. She smiles, says nothing. But that evening, she texts you more than usual, maybe even asks, "Are you free tomorrow? Let's grab dinner." That is not coincidence. That is subtle jealousy. Her way of reclaiming her place in your life. You must learn to see it, respect it, and respond with strength, not foolishness. Don't dismiss it. Don't laugh it off. Recognize it as proof you matter. Recognize it as proof she values you. In the Stoic life, awareness is everything. Living by Stoic principles means seeing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. The reality is this: her jealousy is not your enemy. It is your compass. It points you to the truth that you hold power in her heart. Modern men waste energy chasing validation from strangers while ignoring the quiet signals from the one who already treasures them. Don't be that man. Don't ignore her subtle cues. Stand firm. Recognize that love reveals itself not always in grand gestures, but in tiny, fragile moments of fear. And when you see it, you must respond with strength. Reassure her, not with empty words, but with consistent action, with presence, with loyalty. That is the Stoic way. That is the path of mastery. Remember Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When she shows jealousy, your reaction determines whether you build love or break it. So, listen carefully. Pay attention, value her concern, and because if she does this, if she shows jealousy in quiet, almost invisible ways, she's already yours. Don't miss it. Don't doubt it. Recognize it. Claim victory in it. And master love the same way you master life, with discipline, with awareness, and with strength. If you notice her subtle jealousy, it's a clear sign she's already invested in you. Now, if you believe this is true, drop a comment below. I know what she's feeling. Like this video, subscribe for more powerful insights. And remember, true connection doesn't need words. It speaks through actions. 7th sign. She puts effort into her appearance when meeting you. Don't ignore this, because it's not vanity. It's devotion wrapped in perfume and a carefully chosen dress. With everyone else, she may look relaxed, casual, maybe even indifferent, but when she knows she's going to see you, suddenly every detail matters. That is not coincidence. That is quiet love in action. She'll spend extra minutes fixing her hair, choosing shoes that match, or adding that soft touch of fragrance she hopes you'll notice. She doesn't do it for the world. She does it for you. Be aware women don't waste that kind of energy on men who don't matter. They save it for the one who holds a sacred place in their heart. This is the blessing of Stoicism in disguise. You must train your eyes to see beyond the obvious, like the old Stoic who could spot truth hidden beneath surface distractions. Example. Normally she shows up bare nails, nothing fancy, but you ask her out for coffee, and suddenly she appears with freshly polished nails, glancing at you shyly and whispering, "Do you like it?" That is silent love shouting louder than 1,000 words. Don't laugh it off. Don't miss the moment, because this is her way of declaring without a speech that you matter enough to inspire effort. A modern Stoic knows effort equals investment, and investment equals affection. Don't let your pride blind you. Don't let your doubts erase the truth. Be smart, be attentive. Notice the subtle sacrifices because they are the rarest kind of proof. This is her heart showing up before her lips can confess. She wants you to think, "Wow, she looks beautiful." But more than that, she wants you to feel she saved her best for you. And when a woman does that, she's already yours. The modern Stoic man must recognize this gift for what it is, a quiet testimony of loyalty and desire, a gesture more powerful than any poem. Be wise enough to honor it. That is the true blessing of Stoicism. Seeing what others overlook, valuing what others dismiss, holding steady while the world misses the obvious. Don't doubt it. Don't dismiss it. That subtle polish, that carefully chosen scarf, that hint of perfume drifting across the table. Those are not random choices. They are arrows pointing directly at you. A woman who puts effort into her appearance for you is telling you with her whole being you are special. And if you still question whether she's yours, you've already missed the truth the old Stoic would never fail to see. 8th sign, she shares her happiness with you first. When a woman is truly in love, she doesn't hide it in grand speeches or dramatic declarations. No. Her heart speaks in a far subtler yet more powerful way. She runs to you first with her joy. Think about it. The very first person she wants to tell about her promotion, the funny thing that happened at the grocery store, or even the little miracle of finding parking on a rainy day. It's you, not her girlfriends, not her family. You. That is no small thing. That is a privilege. Why this matters more than "I love you." Words can be tossed around lightly. "I love you" can be whispered in the heat of the moment, sometimes without weight. But choosing you as the first recipient of her happiness, that's real. That's intentional. Because when a woman trusts you with her joy, she's already given you the most delicate part of her life, her inner world. She's made you the emotional center, the anchor, the safe harbor she sails toward. Don't underestimate this. Be the man who recognizes the gift. Picture this: she just walked out of a tough meeting. Her boss said, "You did fantastic today." What does she do? She doesn't open Instagram. She doesn't call her mother. She texts you, "My boss complimented me today. You're the first person I wanted to tell." That one sentence carries more truth than 100 flowery love letters. It proves you're her safe place, her emotional home. Now, let's step into Stoicism for a moment. The ancient Stoics taught that true wealth lies not in possessions, but in how we handle emotions, both our own and others. When she shares her happiness with you first, consider it a blessing of Stoicism. Why? Because it calls you to respond as a man of calm strength. Don't trivialize her joy. Don't shrug it off. Be present. Celebrate it with her. That's how you practice one of the greatest Stoic lessons, to value what truly matters. Don't make the mistake of thinking, "Oh, it's just a text." Wrong. Don't dismiss it as casual. Wrong again. That message is her heart knocking at your door. Be the man who answers. Be the man who understands that sharing joy is as intimate as sharing pain. That is what binds two souls closer than any public declaration ever could. If she doesn't tell you first, if you're always the last to know after her cousin, her best friend, and the dog groomer, you're not yet her emotional priority, Tina. That's harsh. But reality is often harsh, and a man who practices Stoicism accepts reality without flinching. But if she runs to you first, that's it. That's the sign. She's already yours. So pay attention. Watch not just for the fireworks, but for the quiet choices she makes, the little texts, the quick calls, the subtle reaching out when joy fills her heart. Because love isn't always announced with trumpets. Sometimes, it's hidden in the simple truth of who she shares her happiness with first. And if it's you, then my friend, smile. Because without even saying it, she's already told you everything. But hey, it's been great chatting with you today, so did any of these signs resonate with you? Drop a comment below and let me know which one you've experienced or even missed before. It's always interesting to see how we pick up on these things. If this video helped you out, don't forget to hit that like button. It tells YouTube to share this with other guys who could use some clarity too. And make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because in the next video, I'll be revealing the one secret sign. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until next time, remember this true love doesn't always scream for attention. It quietly whispers, stay alert.